are three basic measures that we look at when we analyze a swing. The first measure is how much force do we generate and deliver into the ball. The second measure is how big a zone we hit in. How long is the sweet spot of our bat on playing with that pitch? Knowing that the bigger the zone we hit in, the larger our margin for error will be. The third measure is how efficient we are at getting the bat to the ball. In other words, no extra moves that cost us time and effort. Being efficient will give us the most time to know how, when, and where we're going to make contact. Ideally, we want to deliver as much force into the ball as possible, while we're hitting in the biggest zone possible, while being the most efficient as possible. Hitting is not just about bat speed. It's about combining all three of these measures to give yourself the best opportunity to have success. The perfect swing does not guarantee success, but it does give you a better opportunity for success. As you go through the rest of this program, you'll see the principles that allow these major leaguers to combine all three of these measures. You'll see how they deliver as much force into the ball as they can. You'll see how big a zone they hit in, giving themselves a large margin for error. And you'll see how efficiently they get the bat into the strike zone and stay through it. The amount of force we generate in our swing is a product of our positive move, our transition into rotation and through rotation, and the release of the angle of the bat. The movements of the back elbow, the rotation of the hips and the shoulders, and the movements of the hands and the release of the bat are like your gears. The better they work together or add together, the more power you'll be able to generate in your swing. You'll hear more about this principle in the lesson on addition and connection. Once we have generated as much force as we can, we still need to transfer that energy into the ball. The amount of force we actually deliver into the ball is a product of how squarely we meet the ball and how well the plane of our bat matches the plane of the pitch. Ideally, we want contact to be a head-on collision out in front of our body. Hitting in a big zone simply means getting your bat on the plane of the pitch as early as possible and staying through the zone for as long as possible. The longer our bat stays on plane with the pitch, the better our chances of making solid contact with the ball. In other words, we don't have to have perfect timing. Hitting in a big zone is synonymous with the ability to hit to all fields and being able to cover both fast and slow pitches with the same swing. In the example above, if Carlos were to make contact back here, he'd still have a good chance of driving a base hit to right field. Here he's on time and is driving a home run to left center. And if he were to catch the ball out in front, he'd still have a good chance of hitting that home run down the left field line. At the highest levels of baseball, the game revolves around disrupting the hitter's timing. The top hitters in the game are the ones that are the best at covering both the fastball and the off-speed pitches. And hitting in a big zone plays a large part in that ability. Remember, in baseball, the pitch always comes in at a downward angle, and we want the plane of our bat to match the plane of the pitch throughout the possible contact area, giving us the largest margin for error. In this example, you can see how early Sammy Sosa gets his bat on the plane of the pitch, and how he is ready to release the head of the bat into the ball at any point along the plane of the pitch. Baseball is different from golf in that golfers are trying to maximize force or make contact at one given point. In baseball, we are trying to maximize the force going into the ball at a number of possible contact points throughout the hitting area. Although most of our success will occur in the area out in front, hitting in a big zone will give us an opportunity to get a hit in an extended area between these two white lines. Even if we are just fouling the ball off at the extreme edges of this zone, we are covering the pitch and giving ourselves another chance or another pitch to have success. One other thing to pay attention to is to look and see where your swing is bottoming out and starting to get on the plane of the pitch. With most of our major leaguers, it'll occur somewhere around the middle of their body. Contrast this with a player that swings in a very small zone. Here we can see a player swinging down across the plane of the pitch and bottoming out well out in front. He is not giving himself a very good chance at making solid contact with the ball. In this example, the hitter would have to have nearly perfect timing to hit the ball squarely. You can see that even though the plane of his bat is at a downward angle, the ball is popping up because his timing was off by just a millisecond.
One of the big fallacies that we hear about is swinging down on the ball to try to hit ground balls. Or if we're popping up, that we're swinging up on the ball. What really determines whether the ball goes on the ground or in the air is really the point of contact, or the center of mass of the bat versus the center of the mass of the ball. If I swing almost straight down on this ball, but I hit below the center of mass on the ball, it is going to go in the air. If I swing up on this ball, conversely, if I swing up and on, I hit the top half of the ball, it's going to go on the ground, no matter what I do. So when we talk about swing path, what we're really trying to do is keep the bat on the plane of the pitch and hit through the center of the ball. If you're trying to hit a fly ball, you're going to hit the bottom half of the ball. If we're trying to hit a ball on the ground, such as a hit and run, it's not that we try to swing down at it or chop down on this ball, because the chances are, if we're swinging down, we have just as good a chance to hit the bottom as the top. What we really want to do is swing through the top half of the ball so that the ball does go on the ground.
Efficiency is really all about being in the proper position, so you're able to make the easiest adjustments to pitches. Efficiency is really the key to this product. It is the reason why all our Major League models will swing virtually the same. This technology enables us to see and point out the common principles that allow these Major Leaguers to be so efficient and so successful. You will see how our Major Leaguers will get to virtually the same position at toe touch, or their ready position, and they will remain virtually the same throughout their swing, all the way through contact, extension, and into their finish. It is important to point out that all these major leaguers learn to hit in different ways, but they have all found that same formula for success. The more efficient we are, the more time we will have to know if, when, and where we are going to swing. An efficient swing is one that does not require any extra moves to get the bat onto the plane of the pitch and to the ball. An efficient swing will look almost effortless and feel easier and smoother. If you see any jerky movements in the swing, they are really inefficient adjustments to the pitch or changes of direction that cost us both time and effort.